Hello, beloveds. I wanted to talk to you shortly about the Sound of Freedom movie, because there's a lot of people voicing opinions, and there's a lot of people very upset who are sharing some things that are pretty disgraceful about parts of this whole scenario. It's hard to wade through all the voices, but this is going to be just what I feel, okay? Because I went to see the movie with a friend of mine. I took her, and I really love the movie in terms of what they exposed, and I knew that after seeing it that this would really cause a lot of people to wake up, because there's so many people who aren't even awake to some of the things that are going on internationally and as well as nationally, and they seem to be so blind. There's so many people who don't even want to see. My friend told some people about child trafficking some time ago and what she had found out, and they disassociated from her. They didn't even want to talk to her anymore because they don't want to believe that it goes on. So yesterday I saw a video that a friend in Canada texted me, and it was a young adult who had seen the movie, and she was just in tears, and she was upset that we're not doing anything enough to stop this. And that's the kind of response that you would hope from this movie, because there's too many people, especially in the United States, that live in la la land and just are self-centered, and they don't believe that these evil things can happen. So that's the kind of response that people need to have, and then put some action to their words in helping, okay? Now, there's some other aspects that are important to consider, okay? The movie is good. I believe it is important to waking people up and to marshaling help for children, and also awareness to the point that we don't just let kids run around willy-nilly, okay, without watching them. And that we make sure that we take really good care of our kids, because the Lord in the past has issued an indictment through prophetic word to me long ago about children, and about how many are neglected, many are abused, etc. So these are important. You know, the Bible says that anyone that would hurt one of these children, it'd be better if he had a rope around his neck and he was drowned in the sea. God does not take well to abuse of children. I was one who was abused by my stepfather when I was 3 years old, and my grandfather, and a bunch of other men in a ritual. So I have an invested interest in seeing truth come out, okay? Because even my own son doesn't believe me. So the other thing I want to bring up is that Tim Ballard is a Mormon. There was a picture somebody posted on one venue of Tim Ballard wearing a tie that had the Masonic symbol all over it, little tiny Masonic symbols all over it. You don't wear a tie like that unless you're a Mason. Freemasons are who abuse me, the OTO. So that was, like a little startling. I knew he was a Mormon, but Mormons have, my niece is a Mormon, much to my dismay, but because it's a false religion, false doctrine. They believe Jesus is the brother of Satan. There's a lot of things that they believe that are just off the wall. But they do believe the Bible. They do use the Bible. So I believe Tim Ballard, if there's one guy that's disputing that it's even him, that he's just saying that this guy was arrested at one time. I don't know what his history is, but from other people that have followed him, they believe he's sincere and that he's doing good. And I've seen a video of him bringing together a girl who was stolen at birth. She's Romanian. And from her mom, the hospital told her that her baby died, and the baby wasn't dead. The baby was given to somebody else. And so stolen. Well, now this girl is 25 years old, and she gets to meet her family, who are very poor, because Tim Ballard organization paid for her to be able to see them. This is the kind of work that is heartrending. But I want to say this. Freemasons do a lot of good works, okay, to cover for the idolatry that they practice. They bow to all the gods, all kinds of gods. Anubis, really, and they bow to Jabulon, their own, made up entity, who's they bow to all these Allah, to all kinds of different gods all over the earth. They are the orchestrators of the New World Order, you understand. And you might not understand that. And there are different levels, in Freemasonry. The first 3 levels, they pretty much are bamboozling the people who come in, and they don't let them know that this is actually going into sorcery. So there are people who have joined because in the South especially, if you want to have a business, it's good for you to be a Freemason. But if you go up the levels, every level, first, second, and third included, and all the way up, there are death curses. You pronounce death over yourself in some wicked way, in a variety of ways, if you disclose the information about the organization itself. This is not godly. There's nothing God-oriented in it except making your own God and making Satan God. So, Tim Ballard being a Mason, he's doing the good works, and he's living a wonderful testimony to helping children. So I'm not trashing him. I'm certainly not trashing Jim Caviezel, because I know his heart is good. But the other thing that came up was that there was a video of a man interviewing Ballard and Jim Caviezel, and he was asking who supported the movie. Who did they finally get to finance it? Because the bankers were not helping. Many of the bankers are involved in this stuff. And they got some guy in Mexico named Carlos Slim. Think about it. Who is very rich, to fund the movie, along with some other organization. Well, then he shows Trump talking about Carlos Slim and how wicked he is. Okay, so then your mind goes to, well, then why would they do that, and why would anybody really allow them to make this movie when Hollywood, there have been people who've died for exposing these kinds of things? Okay, so I'm ruminating on this in my mind, and I feel like what the Lord showed me was, if they allow this out, because there's nothing in it to implicate specific people, there's nothing in it to implicate all the organ harvesting, adrenochrome, all this other wicked stuff that's going on. Ha, ha, ha. But they have been talking about it on talk shows after the movie, and they have been exposing those things. So, allowing it out, the PTB, powers that be, what I'm seeing is what may happen is a push for chipping our kids. Because you wonder, why are they allowing it to come out in the theaters even, if they're in control? Well, maybe for chipping our kids. Because when people see this, it becomes more real to them. They can be then afraid for their kids and be much more amenable to putting the chip in your children. So I'm just warning you about this, because there's nothing wrong with seeing the movie. The movie is very well done. It's discreet about the violations of children. But the innuendo is very strongly there, so you see what's happening, and it's really great to bring it out and to show people. And I believe that Tim Ballard is doing what he feels is a God mission, to rescue these kids, and he's very brave to be doing it. But there are 3-letter agencies involved. The CIA has been involved in this trafficking. So there are corrupt people throughout all of society. Think about doctors, nurses, people from every walk of life. And then yesterday, I saw a video on YouTube by a young man who, well, I say young man because I'm 74. I don't know how old he is. He looks about 30s or 40s. Very good-looking young actor who's exposing Hollywood's role in all of this. And he mentions all these things. He mentions the adrenochrome, the organ harvesting, the severe evil of rich people who have nothing else to do and think of these wicked things to do. I had a friend who sent me, well, we'll use the term loosely, friend, who sent me a video on Telegram of a man torturing a preteen looking, they looked like a preteen, naked on the ground. She sent this to me, knowing I'm an SRA victim. And I was shocked. I can't, once you see that, you can't get that image out of your mind for a while. It's so horrific. And so I'm saying, see the movie, support the movie, but have your eyes wide open to the overall picture of what's going on, okay? Because these people are very crafty. They know that people will be in an uproar to an extent, but the thing they want, when I say they, I'm talking about the powers that be that are in control of some things. They want to chip our kids. And we need to caution people because that's very dangerous. Then they'll know where your kid is all the time because they'll have control. So think about it, okay? And bless you. God bless you. And those of you who can afford it, you know, give to some Christian organization that helps, but know who they are, okay? Look at their work. Investigate them thoroughly before you give to these organizations that are helping children. Because there are people like a certain ex-president and his wife who supposedly raised a lot of money for Haiti, and it was never used for what it was supposed to, okay? So investigate, you know, thoroughly investigate anybody you give to so that you know, if you want to help children, okay? God bless you.